Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks so much for dropping by. It's been a while, huh? Yes, it has. It absolutely has. And it's not clickbait, it's the truth. I did almost die last week here in the hospital in the Philippines. Uh, and we're going to go into it. We're going to tell you all about it. But that's not exactly what this is about. What this is also about is the risk, not the problem, but the risk that some people might be taking trying to come here on $1,000 or even $1,500 a month budget. So, you know what? Let's start with the basics.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay. I'm going to try and make this as short as possible and everything that goes along with it. Yes, it's not clickbait. I almost died. And here's what happened. I caught pneumonia about a month and a half ago. All right. It never fully resolved. And because it didn't resolve, it got infected. All right. It broke itself down into an infection. And I didn't think that much about it. It wasn't that significant, didn't give me a hard time, but it ended up being far more significant. Now, we've gotten people to bitch about, oh, Mike, people with health problems should never come to the Philippines. They should stay in their own country. Fuck that. All right. Here's the deal. People live their lives. I planned my life with my health problems. I am literally, according to both the Australia, UK, many European countries, and America and the ADA, I am disabled. Now, I've never filed for disability. I've never gotten disability, but I was a born type 1 diabetic. That means I've been on insulin since birth. And if you have a problem with that, kiss my ass. I mean, really. Apparently some people do. Now, that being said, I planned my life for it. I planned it. And other people with disabilities or not disabilities can plan their lives as well. So I don't guide this shit about you shouldn't come to the Philippines, all right, or you shouldn't leave your country. It's everybody's individual right and reason to do what they want, period. Now, next step. My pneumonia got infected. And so to give you an indication, you have to understand the difference between sepsis and septic, all right? I had both. All right. By the time I hit the ER on Sunday night, where I was having trouble breathing completely, I had sepsis. All right. For those of you that want to Google it, for those of you that are in the medical field or have been in the medical field or dealt with this in the back, my white blood cell count was in excess of 40,000. And if you don't think that's a significant, dangerous level, let's take it a step further. My blood pressure was registering in at 60/40. Now I'm septic. I am actually, not only do I have sepsis, all right, I am septic. It is attacking my heart and it was attacking my kidneys. 60/40. I actually saw one time where the monitor came up at like 50 over, I don't know, mid 40s. And I'm like, oh, it's got to be a bad reading. It may have been true. Sepsis attacks your body. And one of the big problems that comes up, and sepsis is an infection. All right. It is a whole body infection. And then it goes after the individual organs. So to make a long story short, went through all of that. I was surprised at a couple things. First off, I was surprised that Clark Medical Center, or the medical center at Clark, actually had in stock one of the newest categories of IV antibiotics. So what was my treatment, first off? All right, and my cost, and we're going to go through this, okay? The treatment. Well, okay, counting the ER night and then 4 more days in the hospital, I spent $116,390 pesos. That's $1,987. No surgery, no broken bones, no accidents, nothing. That's just getting treatments. All right. 2D echo, 4D Doppler of the extremities, ECGs, EKGs, chest x-rays, blood work out the yin yang all the time. We had to do blood cultures. We had to do everything. Okay. Now, with all of that being said, it was very, there was just a lot to it. But that brings us to where I'm going with this. When you come here, we hear all of these people saying, yes, you can live on $1,000 a month. Yes, you can live. Well, of course you can. You can live on it until you have an unexpected problem. Remember, I didn't break a bone. I didn't get in a car accident. I didn't need surgery. I didn't have glaucoma. All right? None of those things. None. I was just an infection. An infection that went because it was inside my body and it moved that fast. Sepsis, I was probably within about 12 hours, maybe 9, of being dead if I had gone untreated. I was on IV antibiotics, 4 different kinds of antibiotics, all right, for 4 days. Massive doses of IV antibiotics. My gut is going to take 2 months to recover from all of that. Trust me. Whew, it's been an ordeal. Number 2, I'm on oral antibiotics, and it will continue as well. Then I'm on a bunch of meds for this issue. Now that doesn't count the fact that I have my regular medications. Every day, I would see my pulmonologist, I would see my nephrologist, I would see the hospital internist, and I would see my cardiologist every day. All right, because all of them had to coordinate with everything that went on. I was surprised that Angeles City, that Clark Medical Center actually had in stock and was aware of how to use one of the most recent Category 5 IV antibiotics. This is, cutting edge kind of stuff. This is not stuff that, if you're in the province, all right, I was getting lab results, x-ray results, everything, all within hours. Yet, if you're going to be in a remote area, you might very well have to wait until the next day to get the results from your test. In other words, they may not be able to run and verify the actual tests, depending on where you are. I mean, some of the provinces have fine hospitals. Don't get me wrong. My point with all of this is that if you're on a budget, all right, of $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month, well, this 4 days in the hospital was $2,000. You just blew an entire month's budget. Plus, you've got to have some money for emergencies. You've got to do it. You really and truly do. None of us are getting any younger, all right? We're all getting older. We're all subject to these issues. We might be the healthiest people in the world, and at the same time might have an accident, might be in an accident, might break a bone, might have a disease process that hits us. You've got to be aware of and at least slightly prepared for those type of situations. Living on limited funds in the Philippines is not impossible to do. In fact, many people do it. Many people do it. You would be surprised. I'm going to say this in the nicest way. You would be surprised what our monthly living budget is. It's far less than you think. All right? And that's the truth. There's a difference between what our income is and what our budget is. And our budget is far less than what you would think. I'm just going to be honest with you. It doesn't take that much to live a decent life here. It's all the extras. It is. It's just all the extras. That's just like, somebody was bitching the other day about, oh, Mike, you went to Thailand. That didn't cost shit. I can go to Thailand for, 8,000 pesos. Really? That's funny. All right. I went to Thailand and I spent close to 7,000 US dollars over a 3-week period because it wasn't just me. It was me. It was my wife. It was my daughter. We did shopping. We toured around. All right. Yeah. You got to save for those kinds of things. You don't think I just willy-nilly that. We put money aside every year. We put money aside for my daughter's annual trip. But that has nothing to do with this. I'm so sorry. My point with all of this is you need to be aware of what has to transpire. You need to be aware of what it takes. If you want to know how much was the room, how much is a regular room, a deluxe room, an executive room, an ICU room, in the comments below, I want you to ask these questions rather than me go through this budgetary process. How much was this blood test? How much is that blood test? How much was a blood culture? How much was an EKG, an ECG, a chest x-ray? How much were the doctors? How much was all of... If you will ask the questions, I will answer it. I'm not going to bore everybody because I hate budget videos. I really and truly do. I know people like them, but to me, I just hate it because it's all individual. It really is. Now, I will say this, okay? I probably could have avoided some of this 2 ways. Number one, I could have gone to AUF, which was AUF is probably about 20, maybe even 30% less expensive. It's not as fancy as a place, and it's not as convenient either. I'm just going to be honest with you. It is not convenient to get to AUF for me. For me, Clark is a right turn out of the the parking garage, go up to the street, a left turn, a right turn, a left turn, and I'm there. That's pretty simple, isn't it? All right? There's I think 2 stoplights all the way. That's it. Clark is just easier. My doctors are at Clark and at AUF. All right? I could have gone there. So I could have saved some money. But I wasn't expecting that. I just was expecting that, you know what, I've got a pneumonia, I need to be nebulized, I need some steroids. How much were steroids? Asking the questions. All of those different things. Are we doing better? Yeah, we're doing a ton better. A ton. It was quite the ordeal. We've got stuff coming up. We've done stuff. Everything that goes along with it. So, bear with us. Please, we apologize for not posting and stuff like that. But I mean, it's our private life and We don't show you our day-to-day routine all the time. That's not who and what we are. But that being said, you've got to remember, number one, you're not getting any younger. Time doesn't reverse itself. Number two, you've got to have some money. You can't be like these e-begging, YouTubers. Like, oh, I've got glaucoma. I need eye surgery. Send me some money. I can't see. Oh, I'm getting deported. I need money, or else I'm going to immigration jail. Oh, I've got my teeth are all falling out and I need dentures. Oh, I've got this problem or I've got that problem. Hey, look, you know what? Everybody's going to have problems. You're not going to escape that. If you're here over a long period of time, things are going to happen, period. And when those things happen, you've got to have some sort of a plan. Don't, if you're going to rely on expats giving you money to take care of your needs, well, you're nothing but a con man. All right? You're a predator. That's all you are. I tend to think that most expats, immigrants, whatever you want to call them, all right? I tend to believe that most of them are honest, upfront, reasonable people. I really do. Do they, on occasion, run into a problem? Sure. But routinely, not when you look at the number of people that are out there. So you've got to be prepared for the fact that you're not getting any younger. You're going to have problems at some point in time. If it's not a heart attack, if it's not a stroke, it could be that you just tripped on the curb. Could be you were in a jeepney that was in a wreck. Could be all kinds of things. Have at least a method to save for that. Do yourself a favor, because if you're on $1,500 a month and the bill for 4 days plus the ER night was $2,000, you're screwed. And that's just a simple thing. I don't know. You tell me, have you been to the hospital in the Philippines? Would you like to know what these expenses were? Just ask. I'm happy to tell you. Would you like to know how much XYZ costs? No problem. I can tell you. I've got it all. All the lab work. I'm a human pincushion right now. I've got holes everywhere. Well, I don't have any more, but still have a good number of bruises left over. But either way, we're on and about. Finally, it's the holidays, all right? No matter your faith, no matter what, we wish you a very, very joyous and happy holiday season, all right? We don't care what faith you are. We really don't. We wish you the best. We wish your family the best. And finally, we wish even our trolls to have a happy and joyous holiday. Other than that, please do subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it. Have a great day.